So hey guys, welcome to my review of Teen Titans issue number 11. In the last issue of Teen Titans, we saw the Titans appear on Mystery Island after the events of The Culling. Now while they're on Mystery Island, the Titans are just basically interacting with one another, getting to know each other really well, or just talking to each other, just getting to know each other on a friendly basis. And we also saw something that was teasing to this new storyline in issue number 11. Cassie, we saw like a little spike pop out of her arm, which was teasing at the fact that the armor is slowly enveloping Cassie's body and taking over her mind and soul and, her whole entire body. So yeah, and also we were talking about the whole leader thing with Red Robin as he starts to doubt himself because he thought the whole entire Culling event was his fault, that he got some people killed and that some of them were severely damaged, especially Danny, because in the end of the issue, Danny does teleport the whole entire Titans group back to New York City, but at the cost of his life because he only had enough energy left to teleport them back to New York, and after that it was done for Danny. So that's it's pretty sad to see that happen to Danny. I feel really bad that happened. But that's where issue number 11 picks up. We're back in New York City, but we open up with Cassie, and we're basically continuing the whole entire teasing panel that we saw Cassie with a spike out of her arm, that her whole armor is enveloping her. In the first page of this issue, we already see the armor slowly enveloping her body. We see more spikes coming out, and she's in fear and in pain. She's actually in the bathroom of the penthouse for the Titans, and while she's, wallowing in pain and, fear of her armor in the bathroom, we see the Titans, Bunker, Solstice, and Kid Flash fighting a metahuman called Loose Cannon. And while they're fighting them, Cassie sort of gets really pissed off, and because they're not doing much. They're basically destroying the whole entire penthouse, making a whole big mess, and Cassie gets super pissed, and finally she steps up and she's in her armor and she fights Loose Cannon and finally takes him out. Now Loose Cannon's metahuman ability is able to feed off the energy of other metahumans, or basically just feeding off energy in general, which makes him stronger and more powerful. So Cassie basically releases all her armor's energy into Loose Cannon, basically having him overload full of energy, and just that's basically it. And this character sort of reminds me of Byakuya from Yu Yu Hakusho for some reason. I'll show you later why he reminds me of him. So yeah, and after that, the whole entire group now is, just back together, but the whole entire penthouse is in a whole mess, and we basically get a backstory for Loose Cannon, that basically Bunker actually took Loose Cannon up to their penthouse because he thought he was a, good alternative, maybe supposedly potentially be a superhero or team superhero. So he recruited him. He thought that it would be a good idea, but it was a bit too naive of Bunker, and that became the downfall as, we saw Loose Cannon finally just breaking out and trying to destroy the whole entire Titans group. But yeah, after that we're opening up to a new character who I actually found out is actually Wonder Girl's past lover. So if you guys are wondering who he is, if you actually look up on DC Comics website onto Teen Titans issue number 13, they actually mentioned that Wonder Girl has to fight her past lover in order to take control of her armor, and that's basically it. So we learned that he's actually a past lover, or I found out. So if you guys are wondering who he was, that's who he is. And basically he's in New York trying to find Wonder Girl, or Cassie. So after that, we see basically he actually infiltrates the Titans tower, or penthouse actually. If you don't notice, the power actually goes off, and basically everybody's in frantic whatever, because Bunker, Solstice, and Kid Flash are like, oh my god, what's going on? Oh my god, what's going on? Is kind of freaked out because the whole power is out. Kid Flash sort of goes off and tries to check out what's wrong, and the fuse has been taken out, it's exploded, and it's actually in shambles. So yeah, he figures out what's going on, but he gets knocked out by somebody mysteriously. I'm betting that's actually Wonder Girl's past lover. But yeah, afterwards, Cassie breaks out in her full armor and starts fighting Solstice, Kid Flash, and not Kid Flash, but Bunker, because Kid Flash is taken out already. But yeah, they're fighting them, and Tim Drake is off, and he actually sees this happening. and Superboy as well. So they actually go to the penthouse to see what's going on, and we see Cassie on the ground or on the floor kneeling and saying that, "Stop me before I kill again." And that's how this issue ends. And we actually have a little, few pages to the next story arc, probably, with these dinosaur humans kind of thing, or I don't know what this is about, but it's pretty interesting. Now, my thoughts on this issue, I'm just going to show you a few pages in this issue. Just to start off. So, to show you that over here you see Cassie's body slowly getting enveloped by the spikes or her armor. You can see here, hopefully you guys can see without the glare. Yeah, you can see actually blood popping out, which is kind of super awesome at the same time. Feel bad for Cassie, but it actually shows that it actually does some damage. So this is actually Solstice, Kid Flash, and Bunker fighting Loose Cannon. Now, the reason why I tell you he reminds me of Byakuya from Yu Yu Hakusho, if you ever watched Yu Yu Hakusho, he's sort of really furry. If you look at him, he's furry. He reminds me of a beast, like a tiger kind of thing, or a panther. So the reason why he reminds me of Byakuya is, like I said, he reminds me of an animal, sort of like a tiger or a panther, and he sucks up the energy in order to get stronger from his opponents. So yeah, that's what Byakuya does, is he actually sucks up spirit energy, and he grows stronger or bigger. And yeah, so we also get to see the demonic form, or basically the armor taking over Cassie's mind. As you can see here, she's kind of really, really upset, or really evil looking. Also, what I also like about this issue was the fact that they actually try to break the fourth wall with Kid Flash. So basically, this is Bunker telling you the backstory of how Loose Cannon got to the penthouse, and while he's actually telling the story, you can see Kid Flash waving his arm. But the reason why he's waving his arm is that he's actually destroying the panels around him. You can see like some of the panels are wiping off. Like he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, buddy, whoa!" Like saying like, "Oh, you actually let that happen? You let somebody mysteriously you didn't know come to our penthouse?" And yeah, that was a bad thing for him to do. Also, right here, they actually talk about Solstice and Kid Flash's relationship. Now, it is confusing because, here, I'm going to read the dialogue for you. So, Solstice says right here, "My love," and, Bunker says, "Que? What did I miss?" And he's like, "Oh, Bart and I shared a moment on the island. Honestly, it's been building since the moment he rescued me from nowhere. We only made out, though. We're just friends." So I'm like, "Oh, okay, so you made out. Friends don't make out unless you, I don't know, it's just kind of weird for her to say that. We're just friends, though." But she tells Bunker that he has feelings for her. And yeah, and then here we can see the whole armor finally enveloping Cassie. As you can see here, more blood is actually shedded on her armor. And then here we also tease at the fact that a new storyline's going on that actually says it picks up on issue number 12, or present. So we actually see these dinosaur creatures. They're actually in New York City at the time. So yeah, and we also see something here, which is kind of interesting. Let me show you first, if I can find it, because it's kind of interesting to see this after reading issue number 10 of Teen Titans. No, yeah, issue number 10 of Teen Titans. I found it, and then now I can't find it. Oh, here it is. Never mind. Right here, you can see Danny the Alley. If you know who Danny the Alley is, he's Danny the metahuman that actually is an alleyway that can teleport and change locations for the Titans. Now, my thoughts on this issue, I thought it was good. Nothing really happens. We're just building up on a new storyline. So usually when they're building up on a new storyline, there's nothing really to build on. Well, there is something to mention here is that Robin, or Red Robin, is actually still doubting himself as a leader. He still says that, okay, what happens if the Titans get into a big, large mess, like something really bad happens to them? It's all on me. And he sort of doubts himself about that still. So Actually, it would be nice to see Tim Drake have a whole, sort of leadership story arc for him to actually build up to the point where he's like, yes, I am the leader, whatever I do what's best for the team. I know, being a leader, you are never perfect. You make your mistakes, but you learn from your mistakes, and that's what it means to be a leader. You can't be perfect. They choose you as a leader because you are flawed at the same time, but at the same time, you can actually do much for the team. Like, not all leaders are, brave and strong or perfect. Just like in The Walking Dead, I'm going to compare it to The Walking Dead. Like Rick Grimes, he's not the perfect leader. He has his messed up side. There's some things I sort of didn't agree with Rick Grimes, but he does what's best for the whole entire group. And basically, we see leadership skills or, leadership building up onto Rick Grimes. And it would be nice if they did that with Red Robin here. Hopefully, I think they will do that in issue number 13 because they said something's coming for Tim Drake, but I don't know what. Maybe spoiler? And I don't mean spoiler alert. I mean spoiler as in Stephanie Brown, because I love Stephanie Brown. She was a really great backer. I finally read the comic books and she's super great. But yeah, and also to talk about Cassie's design on the costume, maybe I'll show you the cover as well. So this is actually her design. You can see here. Now, I think it's a bit too spiky for my taste. It's just really, really spiky. But that's about it. And I'm interested to see how she's going to deal with this whole entire, armor taking over her body and trying to figure out if she can actually potentially control it on her own, and hopefully it will be nice to see that happen. But this is actually a great story arc to build on Cassie and learn more about her and her past. Hopefully they will touch upon that in the next couple issues, and also Tim Drake. And Superboy's design in this comic, it was kind of off because he looked like a punk. Actually, when I looked at him, he looked like a punk. But yeah, that's all that happens, and I was sort of confused about, Solstice mentioning that, oh, we're just friends though, but we made out, and I have feelings for him, but we're friends. And why did you make out with him? And Kid Flash does kiss Solstice on the cheek before he checks on the fuse box for the penthouse. So I'm like, how are you just friends if you do all that stuff? It's like saying like, oh, I had sex with you, but we're just friends. Well, you had sex buddies, but that's different. Okay, that's different. So yeah, that's just all I had to say about this comic. I actually rated it a 4 out of 5. And yeah, I'm sorry again if this review was late, but yeah, that's my review of Teen Titans issue number 11. If you guys enjoyed it, please just, like this video. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy and like this video. So, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. So, see you guys.